We have a new bait I want to try, and it is a Whopper Plopper. Well, it's not really a Whopper Plopper. I got a deal I couldn't pass up on some blanks that needed painted. I thought, yeah, that could be a good idea. We're gonna see how it runs. Sounds good. I haven't touched a treble hook bait in years. I just spray painted it. Got white base, green pumpkin on top. I got a gold underbelly, and then threw some red eyes on it. We're gonna keep a tight drag. I could see me losing this in a tree. If I get hooked or we lose more than 3 fish, buzzbait's going back on. It's nice to be able to just cast a mile real easy though. Pretty uneventful. We gotta find them. So far we have not found them. Look at them all. They're all just staring at me like, what is it? Wow. Alright, well, let's switch back to the Whopper Plopper. Catches nothing. Oh, you're kidding me. There's a swipe. That didn't even get the hook at all. Not even close. It's interesting. So they'd swipe and not try to eat this. It won't eat the fluke though. You gotta be kidding me. That's one miss on a Whopper Plopper. We're getting warmer. Or at least something's happening. Not much, but something is happening. I'm afraid to hit the bank too, which is a problem. This is slower than my Whopper, or than my buzzbait. Better at grabbing leaves, I'll tell you that. There's no way I wouldn't be catching nothing if I was using my buzzbait. Well, that was a fish. He's freaking out. Because trebles don't hook fish. That was a fish. Buzzbait, we would have caught him. He's pissed because he felt the hooks. That's crazy. I've never seen him do that with a buzzbait. That guy was just pissed. He's just flopping. That was so weird. I mean, at least we got visuals on something. Jeez. That's 2 bites we didn't land. Would the buzzbait have landed those? Probably. Honestly, probably. There we go. And he come off. Alright. Yep, nope. This is why I don't use treble hooks. Give me my buzzbait back. This thing. That's 3 strikes missed. This is why I don't use baits with treble hooks. It's plain and simple. This ain't my rod. It ain't nothing. That thing was on, and it jumped, and it came off. That's how treble hooks work. I mean, that's 2 fish that were hooked, actually hooked, and come off. Oh, jeez, little one. I'm gonna get skunked. Wasted the good stuff on the plopper. This is a part of fall fishing for me. You either find them or you don't. We found a few, and that's it. Nothing else is happening. And I hate doing the same repetitious thing here, but you gotta start somewhere and catch a fish. So like, we're just hitting the bank with the buzzbait because nothing is happening. But at least we know we had some on the bank on the way down. We had one little guy in the middle eat, but that's it. Didn't even see anything next to it. It's funny how the areas can just be so vacant of fish sometimes. There's one. Little guy, he was on the bank. First bite on the buzz bait. He's not even big. And we have him hooked. And landed. That's why I don't use a Whopper Plopper. See ya. Little guy, see you, bud. You know, those other fish were actually bigger by a lot and never got hooked. So that tells me that the plopper sucks. Because a heavier fish is actually going to be easier to hook because there's more weight behind it. It's not going to move. A fish like that is going to move more than getting hooked. Single hook. That's why I quit using trebles a long time ago. It's not worth doing. You know, every time I go out and stuff doesn't work, I always feel like there's something to be learned, but sometimes I think it might just be they're not here. Which is a shame because this would have been cool. Ooh, you come off? Nope. It's a decent one. He's still on. That's a decent fish. Not a giant. He's decent. Bigger than the last one anyways. Not a giant. But I will take it. Oh. He's like a healthy 13, 14 maybe. There you go. He's a very healthy 13, 14. See you, bud. I'm not even finding like multiple fish close together. They're just every once in a while there's an occasional fish. But there you go. That's 2 fish in a row. 100% hookup rate. Whopper Plopper, we're at 0. 0. I feel like this is a little bit easier on the joints too. Like, right back. Wouldn't have done that with the Whopper Plopper either. That thing would have been snagged for sure. Just try to enjoy the moment, even though it feels like Groundhog Day, doing the same thing all the time. But it works. It works. I don't know. I don't know why one section of the river would be on fire and another section be vacant, other than a group of fish is moving and I found that group. Well, the group should be moving down, but overall you don't know where they're at. It's harder when they're that tightly schooled together. But here you have them. Everything's been on the bank except for one little fish. Little guy, we got him. I saw him coming forward too. Just a little guy. Those up there we missed with the plopper were not little fish. Little guy. Let's get another goby. I'll admit the gobies on the buzzbait, they don't really last as long as I'd like them to. I don't know why that mold doesn't have a keeper to begin with, but like it does all right. But I might modify the lead. Another little lead bump that you can slide your plastic over, it might help hold it. But I've also been thinking about the goby itself. Is the main body of it's really thin. I feel like it could benefit by having, at the very least, a bulkier nose. Just more plastic, you know. That way it's a little beefier. It should hold up better. I think we'll do that over winter probably. You know, it's all about continuing to improve as you go. And if I can find a way to improve my baits, I will. This bank is looking good. Nothing's really happening though. Oh, wasn't paying attention. Hail Mary. Of course. Oh, that's a fish. I don't feel that bad. I don't think he's that big. He just spit out one of those mad toms. Little guy, see him? Jeez. It was a loud smack. he didn't come off. Oh, holy crap. Little guy. Ouch. Little guy, see you, bud. Whiplash. Jeez. How do they not get whiplash? They're jumping. Go nuts like that. It would be cool if I could run up in this creek. Don't know if it's gonna happen. Oh, that's a fish. Ooh, that's a good fish. That's a good fish. Oh, that's a real good fish, actually. Listen up here, listen up here. That's a good fish. Oh my. That's a good fish. Good head shakes. Oh, this rod, he's gonna break the freaking rod. Stop doing that, bud. Good fish. Oh, this is the best fight I've had in a long time. How big is he? He's not giant, he's just so pissed. That's a good fish. That's a good fish. That's a good fish. All right. Oh, that's a good fish. Oh, hooked perfect. I don't think it's an 18. I think it's 17. But man, this guy is very healthy. Beautiful fish, thick fish. 17, maybe almost 17 and a quarter. But check out how thick he is. He's been feeding good. Let me turn that motor off. Beautiful fish. Oh, he got some like weird stuff on his tail there. All right, bud. Thanks for playing. See ya. Good fish. Motor died. Just cruise up real slow, like. Let her cool down, you know. I'm pretty sure this is very shallow right here. So if you guys have been watching the recent videos, the last 3 videos were actually every single day. So I fished 3 days in a row. Because the first day, the fishing was amazing. It was great. It was on fire. But they were doing what I expected, which was basically roaming the river, and they could have been anywhere. Which to me seems typical of migratory fish. Not saying resident fish can't do that, but they seem to be a migratory group moving or preparing to move, moving for winter. Something it's a thought, it's a theory, right? You know, so that's why I went back the next day. I kind of wanted to answer the question, like, is this a group of migratory fish, or is this just a good resident bite? So that's why I went back the second day in the same area to see how the bite changed. It didn't change a whole lot, but the numbers were lower, right? And that's why the title, are they coming, going, or are they staying? You know, asking the question, is this a migratory group of fish that has moved into this area and are still moving down into this area? Therefore, the next day the bite would have gotten even better. Or is it a migratory group that I'm getting the tail end of that is then leaving and going down past this area? You know, so the second day in this area being not quite as good as the first, if this is a migratory group, they moved down already. That's why there are not as many here today. So that's why today's video was the next day in this section below that section, and it was not good. I had not seen any signs of a migratory group whatsoever, and I'm talking about this because I kind of want to put an end to this, at least for this year, trying to follow a migratory group or prove this migratory thing, because at this point I don't think it's possible any longer. You know, after this, I tried even lower on the river and lower again, and the bite was terrible. So if this was a migratory group that I ran into, I lost them. Which, to be honest, whether I knew it or not, the last couple years, I was able to do that and follow those fish. That's what led me to be able to say what I'm saying. You know, things that happened in prior years around this time made me understand, wait a minute. You know, that night that I caught 3 or 4 18s, 4 or 5 17s, all within a couple hours in the same spot, when I fished it the day prior and there was nothing happening, you know, I'm like, well, maybe that's a migratory group. And it's the same thing in the spring. You can see the same thing happen in the spring. You know, you can fish a certain area a week prior and catch almost nothing, and then a week later you catch 40, 50 fish in one spot. You know, once those fish are up there, that many of them, they have to go somewhere, right? And so that question is really when do they move? I mean, personally, I think they start moving, well, right after they're done spawning. You know, I think they start to filter back down throughout the river after that. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they won't be in a group towards the end. I feel like maybe quite a few of them hang out here, and then when it's time to go, they all kind of get the signal around the same kind of time, which I believe could be in September. Whether they do it on purpose or not, and maybe baitfish has a part in this, but that's when they kind of all do the same thing at the same time, and that's when you can, well, I think you can find a wave of fish, you know, going through a certain area. And in prior years, I'm almost positive I was able to follow them to an extent. You know, to go out as often as I did last year and catch as many and as big a fish as I did, that is not normal in my eyes. And I didn't really see too many other people doing that. Not saying nobody does that, but I never met them if they did. But as for a migratory group this late in the year, you know, I used to think, well, man, that's a long way to go. If you got to go 40, 50 miles, you need to move early. That's going to take you a long time. Not really. So how I look at it now is, you know, this river, we'll say it flows around 3 miles an hour, give or take. You know, it seems like the fast sections flow around 5. The dead sections flow like a 1. And everything in between, it's just like a medium pace, is usually like 3 miles an hour. That's back from the days when I had a Torpedo and I had the GPS on it. And if you take different points in the river, take an average, I got around 3 miles an hour. You know, when the water's below 1,000 cubic feet, it's a little less. When it's above, it's a little more. But on average, 3 miles an hour. Now, pretend you're a fish. Pretend your goal is to go 50 miles downriver. If you just decide, I'm going to quit swimming. I'm just going to freeze up and just tumble down along the bottom of the river doing absolutely nothing. If the river flows at 3 miles an hour, in 10 hours, you've gone 30 miles, not moving a fin. So in a night or two, they could go from the top to the bottom if they wanted to. It's crazy to think, like, oh man, they move so far. But the real challenge is in spring. And I think it takes them some time then. But man, they're a fish, man. They swim great. I don't think it's really that hard for them to do that. But seeing how the section below this, and a section even lower and lower, I kept trying lower and lower and couldn't find anything, couldn't pinpoint a group, tells me that it's possible that I didn't have a migratory group and it was just a good regular old bite. I don't know. To me, it's been very interesting thinking in this way, thinking in a bigger picture, trying to follow a group of fish, even though that group of fish this year is extremely small compared to what it used to be. But yeah, I fear at this point, with what has happened with the river this year, I'm going too deep into this idea. This was the year I wanted to talk about this and show this, and it just so happens to be that they're not here. And maybe we can pick this whole migratory thought experiment theory thing up next year. Hopefully they come back. But hey, whether I'm right or I'm wrong, or I'm a genius or an idiot, hopefully it's entertaining to hear this, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I'd like to thank you guys for your time watching, and I'll see you on the next one.